We're not going to prepare the floor like we would normally be done, and I'll show you. You'll need a few tools. You want a chalk line, a marker pen, and a tape. You'll need a bucket for your glue. The gauging trowel is very handy. You'll see why when we get moving. Some spacers. These are 1.5mm spacers, and of course you'll need the super spreader and the wings. Now, because these are large tiles, I need to have an extension piece, and I'll put this all together in 2 seconds. And the wings, I've got 2 wings. Now, with the super spreader, just bend the wings at 90 degrees, one that way, and the other one obviously opposite direction, and you space it out. Now, because it doesn't work, you have to put the middle section in like that, and we'll bolt that together. Okay, now I've set the holes in together, and as you can see, it's the size of the tile that we're working with. Now, I've already established the centre of the room and flipped the chalk line. You'll see it under the straight edge there. Now, where the straight edge is meeting the floor, I'm putting a tick. Where it's not, I've got a bit of chalk which would fit that area. That is perfect. I'll put a cross there anyway. And again, I'll go along establishing where it actually touches the floor. And it's here. It's another area where it touches the floor. And again, I've already put a bit of space, the chalk in underneath that fits perfectly. So when we actually flip it over, that's where we're going to chalk underneath, thereby it won't sag in those areas. Okay? Now is I put packing in where it's necessary, so that when the weight goes on there, there's no give. Okay? And now I'm going to chop that with a box of tiles. Just like that. Making sure I've got plenty of room there for the ski to run across. Now I've measured back the size of the tile plus the joint. You can see I've got one sitting there dry. I'm just now going to duplicate the whole process that I did over there of chopping and finding out where you need to put the chops. And it's here is good. Okay, now I've set this other straight edge out. A tile plus a joint back from the other straight edge. I chopped it exactly the same way. I put crosses where it was low, ticks where it was high. Okay, now we're going to set the ski on the spreader. We'll go to where the spreader touches the ground, and we put the ski alongside of it. Using the nuts and bolts, and go for the arm. Just attach the ski onto it like that. Making sure that it's pretty tight because you don't want this to loosen at all. That's enough shot. Now I'll turn it right around so it's in exactly the same spot. I will now attach this ski. Now because of the length of the spreader, I've reinforced it with a bit of angle. Aluminium angle, and I just put a few little self-tappers in there, and now that is very rigid. I'm going to place the spreader on the end, like so. It doesn't matter, it's not. The glue I've got in a pourable state, not too thin, but just nice, so I can just pour some out. Put that over there. Now with the gauging trowel, just make sure that the whole of the mouth is filled, especially in the corners. Okay. And then just keeping it on the straight edges. Just trying to get through. When you miss, go back. And I do it again. No. It's laid the first time. It just stays there. I've already made a mark where I want the first time to be. I just lay it against this straight edge and just lower it into position. That's laid there. Now I'll put some more glue in. Don't have to rush, just take your time. And just put the spacer in. Yeah. One over here. Okay. Okay, now remove the straight edge. Now this one stays the same. This will run on the straight edge, but this side will run on the tiles. So this is where it was at the lowest point there. So I'll put that there and I'll push these skis down to there. And I shall then tighten finger tight and then tighten with the tighten here. As long as you've got some living film, it just doesn't matter. Oh, here it is. As you can see, we haven't done any of the cutting. That now is a different process. Okay, now, this piece of timber now becomes our ski. So what we'll do, we'll position our spreader at the highest point of concrete, and I'll just clamp that, like that. Okay? Now, also it's good to see what width we want to use. Okay? It can be just slightly under if you like. We'll just make sure it is even, and then we'll just put some screws through there. What we're going to do, as I said before, it's our ski. You can see it's going to put extra glue out there. We'll just drag it along, and it's going to put a perfect bit of glue. Okay. Once more. always make sure that those corners are filled. And hold this down steadily. Don't worry about anything else. As you can see, it's just putting a lovely bit of glue on. Put a bit more. Push that along a bit. Now just hold that against there. There we are. And with the same joint. Beautiful.
John.
Okay, now we've cleaned up the floor. It's all finished. And we're going to put a skirting tile all the way around. Now, to do this is a little bit lateral thinking. We're not going to put glue on the walls, we're going to put them on our tiles. So I've set up a bench and just put them on the end there, and the tiles go straight up against that, upside down and butted up with each other. And because the first tile I want is the cut, I'll put that on the end, and that'll be my first tile. Now, the spreader I've dismantled, and I set it up with one wing upside down, so all I'm going to do now is have that. And I'm going to drag the spreader alongside on top of the pieces like this, and I come all the way down to the end. When I get to this last one, I'll leave it rest there while I lay these two, then I shove this up, put some tiles inside, and away I'll go again. Okay? Put the second one in there. Now, I'll hold my hand against the edge of that so that I just spread that. When I get to this last one here, I'll leave it sit on that. That's my first tile. Now what I'm going to do is just slide this up here, get another tile, upside down of course, against the end, drag that down, and start it again. Running short glue, so I'll put a bit more in. And then just stop on the second tile. It's that easy. Now all I've got left to show you is the silicone and how to do that. It's quite simple, it's very easy. Silicone done, and I've got a bottle of dishwashing detergent. Silicone doesn't stick to soap, so you'll see how this works. We don't have to tape up, we just put it on, and as we go, just make sure that we're not leaving any holes. Now, I'll put that down. Now, just make sure first that it's going to spray. Yes, now, just spray the whole area with just silicone, and also our finger. And just wipe it across like that. And into there. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Doesn't leave any marks anywhere. Now just a hint, periodically wash your tools, make sure they're always clean, and always make sure that your adhesive is in a pourable state, not too stiff, and you'll find that it'll flow very easily, and you'll have a lot of fun tiling a room like this.